absolute cinema. I went into this movie blind. I didn't know all these celebrities were in this movie. Travis Scott, Zendaya. Even though this movie was 3 hours, you do not lose your attention at all. It keeps you locked in the whole time. There's so much to explain in this movie that it's just like I don't even know where to, We start with Odysseus, the king of Ithaca, and his wife Penelope. And then we have Odysseus' son, Telemachus, something like that. The gods we're dealing with in this movie are Athena, Poseidon, Zeus, and Hermes. I have ChatGPT open. Odysseus and his men, they leave Ithaca to go like take over some other place, and expand their kingdom, right? But they run into some issues. The monsters in this movie are, first of all, the first monster you deal with is this huge cyclops with one eye, a crooked nose. He's pretty scary, gang. He's so loud and like big and monstrous cyclopsy. It's like, you just knew they were cooked. Odysseus and his crew and his men, they walk straight into the lion's den of this huge cyclops. And that was really like the beginning of all the big battles that go on in this movie. Odysseus and all his men, during their venture, they anger Poseidon because the cyclops was Poseidon's son. Since they angered the cyclops, that angered Poseidon. And Poseidon is the king of the sea, the god of the sea. Odysseus and his men could not venture on the sea safely because Poseidon is angry at them, right? The second monster was a witch, and she plays some innocent woman, and she tricks all the men besides Odysseus because Odysseus wasn't with the men at the time they got tricked. The men, being all hungry, they get offered food by the witch, and the food turns them into literal pigs. Luckily, Odysseus is not tricked by the witch, and he's able to realize that the pigs are actually his men. But luckily, the witch ends up helping Odysseus. She gives Odysseus some like prophecy or whatever. That was the second monster. There was multiple ways Odysseus's men got killed or separated from the group, right? They went from island to island, and each island had a different monster. One island had a bunch of big brolic guys that were just literally throwing Odysseus and his men. Yeah, everywhere they went, it was just... Yeah, that's like the whole movie. It's just Odysseus and his men going from island to island, trying to conquer it or something, and they just run into a bunch of monsters on the way. Right? Eventually, Odysseus makes it back home to his wife, and they live happily ever after. And Odysseus' son becomes the king to the throne. The end. This movie is cinema. You're just gonna have to go watch it for yourself. It's too much to explain, but it's a definitely must watch of the year. It's top 3 movies of this year for sure. I don't know if I'd say best movie of the year, but it's definitely up there. The best part of the movie is definitely the end because Odysseus returns back home, right? He returns back home and everything is out of whack. It's nothing like when he left, right? When he's back, he doesn't come back to Ithaca as a knight in shining armor on a horse or whatever. He comes back as a beggar, and he ends up, scouting it out and taking back his throne. One-man band. He fights everyone to take back his throne. And he did it strategically, right? That was the best part because you just knew, like, when Odysseus was back, you knew he was back. And he wasn't playing around. The reunion of Odysseus and his wife was very wholesome. It brought tears to my eyes, Definitely a must watch.